Welcome, sisters, to our third live stream of April 2022, April 24th. And we are a little bit celebrating my birthday. And I'm already getting some sense now, once I sat down and prayed to be a conduit and in gratitude, some sense of what might be coming forward for today's reflections, if you will. So let's just take a few minutes to ground and center and get connected, and then we'll see if it's a channeled message or a mix of me talking and channeled. So just make yourself comfortable. Get yourself settled, and you can imagine as if all the other responsibilities of the day, you can just put them on a shelf for this time, giving yourself permission to come here fully present to our gathering, our little sistership here of priestesses, breathing into the heart to open and receive the life force energy. Exhaling to offer that life force to every cell in your body as you settle into the present moment, settle into your sits bones. Breathing in again, bringing in that life force energy from both the front and the back of the heart. And again, exhaling to really saturate every cell in your body with this life force. And another breath in. Exhaling, bringing your attention downward to the base of the spine. Giving a few Kegel squeezes just to really activate and engage that root chakra. And even the sacral, you'll feel it in the second chakra as well if you do a deep Kegel squeeze. And squeezing that in and holding for a minute to support the spine. Take another deep breath in to fill the whole body with air. And exhaling, releasing the contraction. And again, just saturating your entire body, every cell, and even your energy bodies with that light, that breath of life. Thank you. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Oh, here comes Cheryl Lynn. We'll let her in. So I'm being guided to start with to enter with, hey, Cheryl Lynn, welcome, sister.
Good morning.
To begin with the breath of life and the birth of things. So let me just tune in here. I one time heard a channeler say that they were channeling the Pleiadians. So the Pleiadians were saying, note the way it is very difficult to come into this world and to exit it. We get squeezed through a birth canal, and in the Western modern medical tradition, it gets much more harsh even then, unless we're born at home or something like that. There's the spanking of the baby and the injections and all that. But even still, just the birthing process, just that alone is quite an intense experience to the contractions and the baby being squeezed and coming out and the mother pushing. It's quite an event. And at the end of our lives, whatever that is, whether it's 2 days or 100 years or anything in between, we have lived in a world where death is also a difficult and often traumatic experience. And so it's an interesting thought to think that we're bookended in this life walk with this difficult what feel like sometimes stressful, traumatic experiences of transition. And yet, we are these eternal beings, and this is just this temporary walk that we've done again and again and again at a soul level. So what is that about? And what is birth really, if we are eternal? So on this day, we are celebrating the anniversary of the moment where this personality, Dawn, not the eternal soul, but the personality, got squeezed through the birth canal of my birth mother. And I thank you all for honoring that. And it is a beautiful thing to honor in its place. It feels in its place that we recognize that we can celebrate the birth of someone and the passing of someone where they are birthed back into their eternal home. They go home after their journey here. And what wants to be said around that? I just keep seeing these sort of bookends, like there's something to speak into here. So let me just tune in. Okay, so Ananda wants to come through, and Ananda is a group collective of guides who they're my guides. They're also my friend Tina Spalding's guides. They've come in. They guide many of us who are doing the Course in Miracles Christ consciousness walk at this time. They come to guide and support that. So I feel them coming in, and they have some things they want to say. So I'm going to step back and let them come forward. So we are Ananda, we are this one's guides and teachers, and we stand as a collective of beings, some who have lived on the earth and walked the earth plane, some who have not. And we come with a message about the concept of birth at many different angles. We want to come at this from a variety of angles. First, we look at, as this one introduced, this concept of birth into your physical world, with the reminder that as a soul journeys into the world, it is necessary for you at the expansive state of your eternal soul to actually condense yourself quite focalized and narrow, to come into a very dense, very tight squeeze, if you will. And in that sense, the birthing through the birth canal is very symbolic of the squeezing, in a sense, of this expansive soul into a body, into a tight frequency of density, and into a consciousness that will have an ego attached to it, keeping it focalized on its physical realm primarily. This is a challenging thing to do. And many of us who have never come into the dense incarnation of what you call the 3D form look with a level of, you might call it respect for the courage to take on such a task, such a adventure, we could say. Because we understand that when you enter into what we could say is separation, an experience of separation and individuation, your bodies are a physical representation of a belief in separation and a desire to experience what it is like to create from this experience, even though it is a dream, of separation. Separation from source, separation from each other, separation from your eternal, divine, expansive guidance self. And so we look with a level of, you could say, respect, of a kind of pat on the back, wow, that's courageous of you. And we offer prayers as you enter into your realm, because we understand and see the way the experience of incarnations in separation create what you call the karmic cycle, which can keep you in cycles of incarnation. And this is not necessarily a bad thing, for all is learning. All is an opportunity to learn. So we honor that choice that each of you makes to choose to experience learning in this way. And we remind you of the one road. There is one road. This is a symbol. This is an analogy. There is one road. And each soul in an experience of individualness is either walking away from that which you call God or back to God. And as you come into your incarnations in this realm, and other realms as well, but we're speaking now of the earth realm in the 3D experience as you have been experiencing it, you are exploring what it means to create from this level of density and consciousness. And with the attachment of an ego, that can be your foil, if you will, when you allow it to lead rather than the spirit leading. So you explore your desires, what we often refer to as chasing your idols. You create, you explore, you have experiences, you have desires, you actualize them or you chase them and they're unrequited. And these you do this until you have exhausted the chasing of your idols. And at that point, when you come close to the understanding, the inner realization that whatever it is you chase out in the 3D realm of separation never really satisfies you. It is then when you begin to get the inkling that maybe there's something more. Maybe there is something beyond this realm worthy of my pursuit that is not a pursuit of this world. And that is the moment, as we have often said, that you become teachable. That is the moment when you surrender enough to be willing to pivot and turn and walk back toward God. And that is the moment where you begin your soul's path to the next level of evolution, we could say, where you are ready to move beyond this realm. And this can happen over many incarnations. This isn't a one and done, as you say, experience. And so those of you who gather in this group are those who are heading back, we could say, on the road toward God, toward the divine, toward your eternal supernal light. And along that journey, you are still perhaps completing, tying up loose ends, completing desires that you have not yet attained or experienced, and devoting yourself at deeper and deeper levels to your true home in the eternal. Now, there are many levels of experience in the multiverse. This is but one. There are other experiences that are less dense in consciousness, more unified. This earth that you are living upon is ascending into one of those, and there are many others as well. Ultimately, each and all return to the unified field of oneness, the Christ consciousness. Each becomes a master in the non-physical, to use this one's terms. But along that way, there are many more experiences. And so we invite you to recognize and honor where you are right now, wherever that is, to recognize your path such as it is right now, and notice the way the things in your life, whether they present you with challenges or blessings, are each an opportunity for you to deepen your connection with your own divinity and to take another step on the road back toward your ultimate oneness. Through the practice of forgiveness, through the practice of loving kindness, through the practice of acceptance of what is, and allowing yourself to look beyond the material challenges or even the blessings to the guiding light of your divinity, leading you homeward. Now, along the way, you each have the opportunity to give birth to children, yes, possibly, but to creative projects and ideas. And we remind you that you are made in the likeness and image of your Creator, our Creator, which is to say, eternally loving, infinitely powerful, and potently creative. So each time you give birth to a creation, you can honor that birthday. You can honor the entire process, as it were, of the conception, the gestation, the birthing, the nurturing, and the setting free. Again, whether this is a piece of art, an expression of any kind, the building of a business, a child, or any other endeavor where you are called to bring forward something, to birth it into the world. And at this time, for those of you who are actively engaged in sacred spiritual pursuits, to align yourself as much as possible with loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness, acceptance, that which you can birth into the world offers a great boon and blessing at this time on your planet. And so we encourage you to honor the birth process, not simply by recognizing and honoring each person's birthday, but the things that you have birthed into the world or that you are called to conceive, gestate, give birth to, nurture, and set free. When you have a frequency level of loving kindness, compassion, acceptance, patience, tolerance, creativity, that which you birth is an extension of you, just as you are an extension of that which you would call God. And so when you birth from that place, ideas, possibilities, how you create your home, you are creating at that frequency. So too for those who struggle in what we would call a lower frequency. Those who are struggling in the lower realms of 3D, of fear, hate, separation, judgment, attack, they too are creative, powerful beings, no less so than you. And yet what they birth into the world is of a vibrational match to those energies that they are predominantly holding. And so we encourage you to recognize the powerful position you are in, to be a force of good in the world. Never underestimate the power of your creative potency. When you align that with love and you align that with divinity, you offer the world a blessing that you will only recognize on the other side of the veil when you return. You will see what you have gifted the world. And so we encourage each of you to continue on your spiritual practice that align you with love, divine love. And from that place, honor yourself when you feel the call to conceive, gestate, birth, and nurture something in the world. For most of the humans in your realm are captured by the ego that puts a lid on creativity, that puts a lid on the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of the individual soul blueprint that they came in with. And this is why we see so much unactualized potential and so much external authoritative control over humanity. Because most of humanity, steeped in the lower realms of 3D, do not understand the nature of creation or the recognition that they are the creator beings and that they came with a blueprint they wish to actualize. So those of you who hold the higher frequency, who understand the fundamental principles of where you are and what you are doing, we encourage you to create from love, to support your sisters and brothers through lovingly conceiving, gestating, birthing, nurturing, and releasing your gifts to the world. We are Ananda, and we are so grateful that this one has allowed us to speak through her today. We offer you each blessings and want you to know that you can call on us whenever you need assistance, inspiration, or guidance. We are here as guardians, as guides, as loving, supportive beings to assist humanity as you move through your own birthing process into an ascension to a higher level of conscious awareness, creativity, and potency in your world. We thank you, and we will return at another time. Oh, that was so nice. Thank you. Mm.